Welcome to Virtual Coding Club at the Ajax Public Library. I'm Larry Rosen. Thank you for joining me here today. We're going to have some fun doing some Scratch coding. I'm going to see if there's anyone in the waiting room. And we'll get started shortly. Welcome. Hello. Isabella?
I can't hear you. Let me put on my headphones.
Okay.
Just a sec.
Take your time.
Hear you now.
Welcome. I can hear you. I cannot see you, but that's okay. I'm glad you could join me here today. I hope some others will as well. We're going to start around 2 o'clock. So just getting everything set here. Welcome. Hello, Isabella. Isabel. I think that's, yeah, Isabella.
Live stream은 뭐야? 뭐 하고 있다고?
Thank you for joining me here today. We're going to start in a couple of minutes. And oh, we've got an Isabella and we've got an Isabel. All right. Oh, it's Colin. Okay, that's all right. We are recording this session, so you can turn off your camera or keep it on, whatever you like. And same with your microphone. If you prefer to just chat, that's okay too. Hello, Colin. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, nice to hear you. I don't see you, but that's okay. You can have your cameras on or off. It's all right. If you just want to chat, that's fine too. Or if you just want to watch, that's okay. Welcome, everybody. All right. We are just about ready to go.
What will we be making today?
We are going to be doing some Scratch coding.
I already have like 6 studios and 64 shared projects.
Wow. Oh my. Well, you may have already done this one before. I hope not, but this is kind of, it's beginner. It's for those who are kind of new to Scratch and just want to learn how to do some basic coding. We're going to make a game called Apple Catcher. So
I've never actually made it before, but I have made a ping pong game.
a ping pong game. Cool. That is cool. Yeah. Was it 1 or 2 players?
1.
1 player? Yeah, that's good.
Actually,
Yeah.
I made 2 pong games. One was 2, the other was 1, and I remixed 1.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay. Let me just get set up here. Okay, sorry about that. I think did I freeze? Did I freeze? I'm sorry. I think, can everyone still see me and hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry
Yes.
about that. Must be the internet. But all right, I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And hopefully that works a little bit better. Okay. All right, so welcome to Ajax Public Library Virtual Coding Club. We're going to do some apple catching using Scratch today. We are recording this event for our YouTube channel. So if you don't want to be seen, that's okay. You can just turn off the camera, or you can have it on if you wish. Your microphone or chat, doesn't matter. And we just want to have to create an inclusive, welcoming space for you to have the best experience possible. We want you to have fun, be respectful, be friendly, patient, and present. And we are about to start. So just have some fun and here we go. Okay, because I am sharing my screen most of the time, you're probably not going to need to use gallery view and speaker view. But you can unmute your mic. Anytime you have a question, you can unmute your microphone and just ask me anytime, or you can use the chat. And there's the start and stop video button whenever you want. At the end of this, I'm going to give you a secret word for those who are doing this TD Summer Reading Club. So stick around for that. And so what we're going to do is, is there anyone here who doesn't know what Scratch is?
No.
Everybody kind of knows already?
I know a lot and I know all the blocks.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's for those who might not know, it's just a programming language, but you don't have to type in the programming. You get to move blocks, which is much easier. And that's what we're going to do to create a game. We're going to create a game where you have to catch apples and bananas and things. And you'll be using, you can use cartoon characters or anything, any type of character you want. You don't have to know how to use programming. Now, those who are using it on your iPad, it's better for this particular event if you use it on a laptop instead of an iPad, if possible, because on the iPad things might be hidden. So if possible, please use either a regular computer or a laptop. And it's, if possible, try to do it in, don't use Edge or Explorer, try to use Chrome or Firefox. They just seem to work a little bit better. If you can't, if you have to use Edge, it's hopefully will be okay. If you don't have a Scratch account, you can still do this activity. The only difference is if you have a Scratch account, then you can save your work and come back to it later. So if you want to go get your account, you just have to go to scratch.mit.edu and then join Scratch. Welcome to those who are just joining us. Welcome to those who are just joining us. I just mentioned that this event is being recorded, so you can turn your camera on or off if you like. And feel free to interrupt at any time if you have questions. Oh, they're still coming in. Oh my gosh, this is okay. All right, are we ready to go? I think we are ready to do this. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Okay.
我的不行，妹妹可以啦。OK， 那我看到Joey了，John 了。
All right. Welcome to the new visitors.
我还不行，妹妹可以啦。
So if everyone, oh, by the way, there is a way that you can have me on part of the screen and Scratch on the other part of the screen. I'll just show you quickly how to do that. Split your screen. If you take the Zoom app out of full screen mode and then drag it to the left until it snaps to the left side of your screen, then the Zoom would be on the left side. And then if you take the browser,
You might have to like take your Zoom, like resize it smaller, because I know if you like make it exactly half the screen, like
Yep.
you won't be able to see part of.
that's true. Yeah, that's absolutely right. You'll have to do a lot of extra scrolling and things like that. Now, here's the other thing. You don't have to do this while I'm doing it. If you prefer to just watch me, because I'm going to go through all the steps. If you prefer to just watch me, then what we can do after this event is you will email me and I'll send you the handout. And then you can do it at your own pace. Okay, for those that don't want to do it, I will send you, I'll give you my email address and you'll send me, I'll send you the link. Okay, so you can do it either with me or afterwards. If you do it afterwards, there's more time, lots of time to do it. All right. Okay. So if you go to scratch.mit.edu, this is what you're going to see. And if whether you have an account or not, it doesn't matter. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on the word create, because we're going to create a new Scratch coding game. And
I
it's,
already created one.
you already created a game?
Actually, no, I just started a new one.
Okay, all right.
And I told you I have like more than 60.
Absolutely incredible. Then you might have done this, but it maybe use different characters or something. But for those who are newer to Scratch, this is what it looks like. And I'll just move this right here into the middle. And I'll just move this right over here. I hope everybody can see this. This is the Scratch screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to
but like the bottom part of it is like you can't see it.
I'll fix that. I'll fix that. Don't worry. Because everybody's screen is different. So sometimes I have to scroll like this to see the bottom. So yeah, everyone has different size monitors. So that's okay. What we're going to do for those that are new is we're going to take these blocks and we're going to drag them into the middle, right into the middle here, to make the character, I'm not sure if I'm pointing in the right direction. We're going to make the characters on the right do something. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a character of a bowl, and we're going to have character of an apple, and the apples are going to keep falling down and the bowl has to catch them. That's the game. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to choose a backdrop, because this is white, boring, blank. So let's put a background. And if you're new to Scratch, I'll tell you that the backgrounds are located right at the bottom right corner. We're going to click, it says choose a backdrop. See, there's two big buttons here. One says choose a sprite and one says choose a backdrop. Right now we want a backdrop or a background. So I'm going to click it and it gives you a whole bunch of choices. And the choice that we're just going to have a nice background. It's not white anymore. Oops. And there we go. Welcome to everyone who's new and visiting us here today. Thank you for joining us. We're starting a new Scratch game, and now we need to add, but we don't want to use the cat. So if you look at the cat at the bottom here, where I'm circling here, there's a little X button. I'm just going to click it to get rid of the cat. Now there's no character, so we have to add a character, and the character that we want to add is a bowl, because the bowl is the thing that's going to catch all the falling fruit. And any character that you put on here is called a sprite. Scratch calls all these characters sprites. So we want to search for a new sprite. We already searched for a background, and if you click here, it says choose a sprite at the bottom right corner, choose a sprite. So we are going to choose a sprite. And look at all the choices we have. And I'm looking for a bowl. I can even do a search if I can't find what I'm looking for here at the top left corner. But I know that bowl is up near the top, and there it is right there. I'm just going to click it, and it puts a bowl in our program. Now, this is the bowl that's going to be catching all the fruit. Well, you're going to actually program the bowl to catch the fruit before it goes below the bowl. Because if any fruit goes below the bowl, the game's over. All right. And you can drag it around and put it wherever you like. And so the first thing we want to do is we want to tell the bowl doesn't know what to do. We are programmers. We have to tell the bowl what to do. So we want the bowl to appear. We want it to appear right, say right about there. Now, if you look, while I'm dragging, whenever I drag, I also want to mention for those who are newer to Scratch, all of these blocks that you see on the left are colored, which means whenever you need a certain block, you can always go to its color. For example, if you're looking for a sound, you know that it's going to be in purple. If you're looking for motion, if you want your character to do something, to go somewhere, you know it's going to be in a blue, one of these blue blocks. If you're looking for sensing, for instance, if you want one character is touching another, you're going to go to the sensing category. So they're all in categories, which is really good. Colin, yes, you have a question?
I already made it move and make it tilt to a direction you're moving.
Oh, that's cool. You're a little bit ahead of us, but that's all right. Okay. Now, if anyone who's doing it with me, if you click on motion at the top and look at where it says, the first thing we want to do is we want to put the bowl at the start where it's supposed to be at the start of the game, because we don't want it to be sitting in the middle like that. So whenever I move this bowl to another location, look at the go to, do you see where it says go to X, Y? Look at this one right there. I'm going to move the bowl. Watch what happens. It changes the numbers. I'm going to move the bowl again. Right now it's 161 and 2. I'm going to move the bowl. Now it's 112.85. So what that's doing is it's looking at where the bowl is. All right. So we want the bowl. I'm going to move the bowl now to right about here. So if I do that, I'm looking over here and it says go to -10, 135. That's where we want the bowl to start. So I'm going to drag that one right out there. So I didn't have to figure out any numbers. I just moved the bowl where I wanted it to go, and then I dragged it out. But we also need the flag, because if you know about Scratch, we know that we have to start, every time we start something, we use the green flag to start. So that's an event. When you press the green flag, that's an event. So we have something called events on the left here. I'm going to click events. When the green flag is clicked, we want the bowl to go to that location. Did it work? Let's find out. I'm going to move this bowl just right up there. When I click the, excuse me, when I click the green flag, the bowl should go where it's supposed to go. Let's see if it works. Here we go. See that? The bowl went where it's supposed to go. So we are programmers. We're telling every character what it needs to do. All right, you're doing great. All right, now the next thing we have to do is we have to make the bowl move right and left, because you're going to be able to move this bowl like this while the fruit is coming down. Okay, so to make them, let me just get my notes here. And we need to do this constantly throughout the whole game, almost like forever. Forever, we need this bowl to do this. So if we're doing it forever, we're controlling how long we're doing it. We're controlling it. So is there a control section? Let's look. Yes, there is. There's a control on the left. If I click control, and you'll see under control, there is a forever loop. Okay, so I'm going to drag that right there, right? It clicks. Because forever, we want the bowl to go right or left to catch these fruit. All right. So we want to, when we press the left arrow, we want the bowl to go to the left. And when we press the right arrow, we want the bowl to go to the right. So if the left key is pressed, something happens. If the right key is pressed, something happens. You notice that I said if then, if then. Well, you're controlling it. You're controlling it again, if then. So where are our controls? It's in the same place, if then. Let's see if there's an if then. And there is. If then, there's an if then block right here. So I'm going to drag that and put it right into our forever like that. That if then, that's if, that's going to be when it's finished. If that's for the left arrow on your keyboard. We also need another if then for the right. So I'm going to drag another if then and put it right underneath there. So now we've got an if then for the left and an if then for the right. If it senses that the left key is pressed, sensing, if it senses, if you press something, it senses it. Is there a sensing category? Yes, there is. It's right here at the blue. And we're looking for something that says if the key, if a certain key is pressed. Do you see that anywhere? Let's see. I see one that says if, here it says if key space is pressed. We don't want space. We want left or right. But you notice there's a drop down. So that means we can choose the key we want. So I'm going to drag this one right here. If the key space is pressed, I don't want space. So I'm going to change that by clicking on the space to the left arrow. If the left arrow is pressed, something is going to happen. And it's blank right now because we haven't told it what to do yet. Let's do the same thing for the right arrow. Let's drag another one here. If the key space is pressed, but we don't want space. We want the right arrow to be this one. All right, so forever, we've got this bowl. If the left arrow is pressed, something's going to happen. If the right arrow is pressed, something's going to happen. But what is going to happen? We want the bowl to move. So is there a category for movement or going somewhere? What category should I use for that? Did I hear? Sorry?
Motion.
Motion, thank you. Yes. Anytime you want the character to do to move somewhere, it's usually in the motion. All right. So we want to change. Now, I just need to tell you one thing. When I'm talking, when we use Scratch, if a Scratch character is moving this way, it's X, the letter X. If a Scratch character is moving this way, it's going to be a Y. So there's an X axis and a Y axis. So when we want the bowl to move this way, so we're going to be changing the X. All right. So is there a change? Let's see if there's a change X. There it is, one right there, change X. All right, let me just drag this one. Let me just drag this one right here. Change X by 10. If the right, so it says if the right arrow is pressed, then change X by 10. Let's see, I'm going to press the flag now at the top here. My program is running. I'm going to press the right arrow and see if the bowl moves. Here we go. So it is moving by 10 every time I press that. Let's do the same thing for the left arrow. We need to change X again. So this one is still blank over here. So I'm going to drag another, change X. But something is not right with the left arrow. There's still something I have to do. Do you know what I need to do to get it to move to the left?
Make it
Negative 10.
Negative 10, thank you. Negative 10. Now I'm going to click my flag, and now I'm going to press the left arrow key and my right arrow key. Now we can catch the fruit. All right, everybody with me so far? And don't worry, for those who want to do it after, I will be giving you my email address, and if you email me, I will send you the handout on how to do this. So there's no rush. All right. The next thing we have to do is we have to add the apple.
没呀，
Um,
刚开始是我是有动的，结果我选的那个倒了。
we have to add the apples, and we have to make the apples fall down. All right, so we have our bowl sprite. Let's add an apple sprite. And to do that, here is where we get our sprites, bottom right corner. I'm going to click it. And look at that, our apple is right here. I'm just going to click it. Now we've got an apple on here. But you know what? I think this apple is too big for this bowl. So I'm going to shrink it just a little bit. And to shrink the apple, see where it says size here? So if that's 100%, I'm going to change that to 75%. It just made the apple a little bit smaller. All right. First thing we have to do is, do you remember how at the beginning we placed the bowl in a certain place? We have to do the same thing with the apple. We kind of want the apple to start at the top because it's going to be falling down. So if I go to the go to, this is how we did it the first time. Go to X, Y. I didn't know the numbers to put in there, but remember, all I have to do is move the apple to the point where I want it to be. Let's say right about there. And then if I look at my go-to X, Y, the numbers are already there. So I can just drag it on here. Now remember, we also need the flag. Everything starts with a flag. So that's an event. So I'm gonna go back to my events. When the green flag is clicked, the apple will go to the top. Let's see if it worked. I'm just gonna drag this here and I'm gonna drag this here. So when I press the green flag, these two objects should go to the correct spot. Let's see, green flag, here we go. Yes. All right. Whichever one of these two things at the bottom here is highlighted, that is the one that we're programming. You can also tell because there's a little faded apple here. If I click bowl, this is what we already did with the bowl. And you can see the little bowl there. So that kind of gives you a hint at what you're programming, because you don't want to program an object by mistake. So right now we're programming the apple. And all we did was we told the apple where to start. That's all we've done so far. So we want apples to constantly fall down so that you can catch them. And if we want the apples to constantly fall down, that's a forever thing. And forever, when you want it forever, you're controlling how long it's going to do it. So there is a control section. Let's go to the control section. There's our forever. There's our forever loop. So I'm going to drag that one, put it right over top, or not over top, right underneath. All right. And then we want this apple to fall down. Are we going to use X or Y when we make the apple fall down? What do you think?
Y.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Because X is this way and Y is this way, vertical and horizontal. So we are going to change Y. And that's a motion thing because the apple's coming down. So we go to our motion category. And we're going to search for something that says change Y. Change Y by, there it is. And I'm going to change that to 5 because I don't want it to fall that fast yet. But there's something wrong with that. And what is wrong with that is that if I leave it like that, the apple is going to go up. It's not going to go down. So it has to be negative 5. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to press the green flag. Here we go. So it's worked so far, but we're not done yet. We still need to, we made it go down one time, even though it says forever. It's because we're not finished yet. So we have to tell this program that when the apple hits the bottom, then it's going to go to a random position at the top and fall again. That's what we still have to do. So if the apple hits the bottom, then something else happens. So that's an if then. Remember I just said if then. So we're controlling it. If something, then as we're controlling it. So let's go to our control If then, here is an if then statement. All right,
Yeah.
so let's drag the if then.
Oh yeah. Whatever 这个是衣服什么的。Key.
Okay, now I'm going to put that one right here. All right.
Key.
If the Y position, if you could mute, if everyone could mute, just if you have a question, then you can unmute. Thanks.
If arrow.
Make sure everyone is muted. Someone has their hand up? Sorry, did someone have their hand up? Colin? Yeah, is your hand?
突然，这一下突然冒出来。
Actually, I already basically made the game, but I have like 3 foods, so I can like change costumes.
Okay, absolutely. If you're advanced and you can do that, please go ahead. But I'm going at a certain pace so that others can follow me. But please, yeah, absolutely, try different things. And if you're, and at the end, I'd like to see what you've done that's different. Okay. There we go. Let's go back to the screen. So what we're trying to do is when the Y, okay, if everyone could mute. Is everyone on mute? Hold on, sorry. Okay. There we go. Now, we have an if-then statement. If the apple hits the bottom, we want it to go back to the top to a random position. So how do we find out how it hits the bottom? It's falling down as a Y position. When the Y position hits the bottom, something has to happen. So we need something that says, if the Y position goes below your screen.
Actually, I did if touching color.
If touching color would work too. And this is the thing, in Scratch, you can do these many different ways. So that's absolutely okay. Yeah, but the way we're doing it here is if the Y position, when that thing falls, it's falling as a Y. If the Y position is less than a certain number, here we go. Less than. All your less than and greater than, they're all located in the green because they're operators. So if the Y position is less than and the number we're going to give it is minus 170. And where's the Y position? That would be up here because it's motion, it's moving. If the Y position is less than minus 170, something has to happen. We want once the apple falls, we want it to go to a random position at the top and fall again. So go to random position, that's a motion. Go to random position. Let's see. There it is. Go to random position and set the Y back up to the top, 170. Set the Y to 170. Okay. Did that work? Let's see. I'm going to press the flag. All right, so what it's doing is it's going down by 5. Look at your programming. -5, -5. If the Y position is less than minus 170, which is the bottom of the screen, it goes to a random position at the top. It goes to a random position, and when you say set Y to 170, it puts it back at the top so it can fall again. And it falls again because you used the forever loop. Okay, you're doing great. I see, Colin, you still have your hand up. Is everything okay there? Okay, thanks, no problem. Yeah, so we've got one apple falling down. Now, we need to program this Apple Sprite so that the score goes up every time it lands in the bowl. Because right now it's landing in the bowl, but you're not getting any points. So to do that, we have to create a score. And a score in Scratch is called a variable. Do we have a category for variables? Absolutely. And it's right here in orange on the left. And we're going to make a new variable. There's a button right here that says make a variable. So I'm going to click it. And I'm going to name this score. And it just created a variable. Well, I don't see it. It's because we haven't used it yet. We just created it.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's not working. Like, it's going so fast and everything when I click the go button.
Okay, look at,
25.
see if your numbers are the same as these.
Okay.
Because these numbers will tell you how fast or slow it goes. So check it with this. If it's still not working at the end, I will send you a handout with everything that I'm doing. So you can try it again at your own pace. But these numbers should work on most, if not all, Scratch. So when I made that variable, did you see what it did? It put a score right here, a scoreboard. Right now the apples aren't, I'm not getting any score because the bowl doesn't know that the apple is touching it yet. So we are going to fix that right now. We are still programming the apple. And what we want to do is we want to say, when the apple touches the bowl, you get a point. That's it. that's really all we're doing. Whenever the apple touches the bowl, right now I'm catching the apples, but nothing's happening. My score isn't going up. So we're programming the apple so that it knows when it touches the bowl. All right, so to do that, we start off with our trusty flag. Our flag, where's our flag? No, it's not a control, it's an event. It's an event, so there we go. So I'm gonna drag that right here because this is another program for the apple. This one right here, that programs the apple falling down. Now we're gonna program the apple so that when it knows when it touches the bowl. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set the score to 0. Now I know it already says 0, but after a game is done, it's not gonna be 0. So when you start a new game, you always have to set your score to 0. So to set your score to 0, score is it's a variable. So we go to our variables category here in the left. And we're going to say, look for something that says set score to 0. I don't see it, but I see set my variable to 0, so that's close enough. So I'm going to drag that one out here, and I'm going to click this down arrow, and there's score, because I just created it. And I changed that to score. Okay. Hang in there with me. You're doing great. The next thing, throughout the whole game, we want it to know when it's touching. So that's a forever for the whole game, forever. So forever is a, you're controlling it. You're saying when, how long. So we go to control. Here's control there. Click it right left here. There's our forever loop. Drag it right over here. Forever. If the apple is touching, then something happens. If then, you're controlling again. It's going to be in the same area. There it is. If then. If the apple is touching the bowl, that's what we're going to do. All right. When you're touching the bowl, you're sensing it. You're sensing what's going to happen. So we have a sensing category right there. Look for something that says touching. Now this one says touching mouse pointer. That's not good, but it's close. So I'm going to drag it out here, and I'm going to see if it lets me touch something else. Here we go. Bowl. Touch the bowl if it's touching the bowl. All right. I like this because you can drag things instead of typing in all the coding. It's just much easier.
I made a full game with losing and stuff like that.
A full game?
Yeah, like the whole catching game.
Mm-hmm.
Could I share it like after the class?
If you create this on your account, on your Scratch account, you can share it. Absolutely. Oh, you mean you want to show what you've done with
Yes.
everyone here? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely can do that. All right. We're almost done. This particular apple, if it's touching the bowl, something has to happen. We want the score to go up by 1. That's the first thing. Because that's the goal, to get as many as you can. So if you're talking about score, that is a variable. We go to our variables and we change my variable by 1. That's close enough. If it's touching the bowl, change my variable to 1, but I don't want my variable. I want score. Does it say score there? Yes, because I created it, score.
Or could just simply delete the my variable.
There, yes, lots of different ways you can do this. And you may find easier ways to do this. So after you get your point, we need the apple to go back to the top, just like it did if it didn't touch the bowl. So if you look, it says go to random position and set Y to 170 over here. We're going to do that same thing because it has to go back to the top now that you've touched the bowl. So I'm going to go to my blue section and then go to random position right here, and then set Y to 170 again, which is the top of the page. So these are similar. If it touches the bowl, it goes to the top. If it doesn't touch the bowl, it goes to the top. Let's see if this works. I'm going to press the green flag, and I'm going to move around. And did I get a score? Yes. Every time and we can also make it add noises, sound effects at the end. We're going to add some sound effects. So there you go. Okay, now.
I already added sound effects, but I turned them off because like it'll interrupt with the zoom somehow.
Yeah, thank you. it would do that, but you can turn them on when you're showing everybody if you like. All right. So we are doing great so far. I'm glad everyone's sticking around. We're going to make it a little more difficult, but I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you because we do not want just, we want another fruit to fall down because this is too easy. So I want bananas to fall down.
I added an apple, banana, and a strawberry.
Very good. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh no, now I've got to drag all this code in again. But you don't, because there's a shortcut that you don't have to drag it in a second time for the bananas. And I'm going to show you how to do that. First, let's find our banana. And that is in our bananas are sprites. Everything is a sprite. So there's choose a sprite on the bottom right. Where's my bananas? There it is right here. I'm going to click it. You notice all the coding is gone in the middle. That's because we haven't coded the banana. If I click on the apple, the coding is
Well,
back.
I just put it into like a singular sprite.
Oh yeah? Did it work?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, lots of different ways. Now, we got bananas, and they're a little too big too, so I'm going to shrink them.
I think
Just
it would
a
make
touch.
it too hard because like two could fall at once.
Yes, if you don't have to do this part. If you'd want only one, absolutely. This is for those who want a little bit more. And you can make this as hard or as easy as you want. If you have two falling down, there you can make some fall, the apple fall faster. Maybe you want the bananas to fall faster and the apple to fall slower. There's lots of different ways you can do this. But that banana right now is too big, so I'm going to click the size here at the bottom right and change that to 75% as well. It just made it a little bit smaller. All right. Now, I don't want to code the banana again, like I did with the apple. I'd rather just copy and paste. Well,
You
there's
could copy.
no copy and paste the way you normally do it, but there is something called backpack. And the backpack is how we are going to copy the code.
Well, you could just like start like throwing the code into the banana.
This is what we're going to do. All right. We're going to now. Let's open up the backpack. It's right down here at the bottom in the middle here. It says backpack. I'm just going to open it up here. If you see any code at the bottom left here that's already there, just right click and delete it. Right now, my backpack is empty. This is the temporary place where we're going to put the Apple code. All right. So we're going to click on the Apple next here on the bottom. For those that are doing it with me, we're clicking on the Apple. And we've got two pieces of code here. We've got this code, which is the code that makes the apple go down. And we've got this code, which changes the score. And we want both of those codes to be copied to the banana. So what we do is we put them temporarily in the backpack section by dragging. Watch this. I'm going to drag this right in here. And I'm going to drag the second one right in here. Now I've got two pieces of Apple code in here.
Also, I made different point values for each fruit.
You can. Everyone will have a different, slightly different, And that's the beauty of this. You can make it your own. It's really good. So, excuse me. Now, I've copied the Apple code into the backpack. It's just sitting there. Now I'm going to click on the banana right here. The banana is empty. I'm just going to drag this first right bottom code, drag it right back into the banana. Sometimes you have to just kind of move it a little bit. So there's the first one. And then I'm going to drag the second one into the banana. Instant code. Now, isn't that better than having to do all the moving of the bars? I just think it's a really neat feature. It's the
Or
same.
you could like go to the Apple Sprite and drag the code like on top of the banana Sprite and keep it there until it's wiggling and then it'll be copied right there.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you can do it that way. I just wanted to show everybody all the different features of Scratch, and yes, there's lots of shortcuts like that. Okay, you can absolutely do it that way. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yes, Rhea and you. Yes.
Yeah, it's still not working.
Okay.
It's going fast.
It's fast. Okay. Your code.
Yeah,
Your code is exactly like this.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay. If you want, after I finish, I can take a look and see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it might be. Make sure that you have every block where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Because one block in the wrong place will change everything. And make sure, yeah, it's you don't always get it right the first time, but we'll get it. We'll get it. So did this work? That's the big question. Did this work? Let's see. I'm going to hit the green flag here. Here we go. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. It appears to be working. Now you're going to be able to change the how fast or slow you want these to go. The last thing we have to do is we have to add a red. If the fruit goes below the bowl, the game is over. All right. So we're going to put in another sprite, a red line. And then whenever a fruit hits the red line and not the bowl, the game is over. Is there a red line sprite? Let's find out. I'm going to go to choose a sprite. Red line, or maybe just line. There it is, line. Here we go. So I'm going to press line, and it puts a red line here. So I'm going to drag this right down here and put it right here. So when the fruit, if it goes here, you get a point. But if it goes here, the game is over. So how do we do that? Well, we have to program the red line. All right. Okay, this won't take long because it's another sensing thing. So now you've got 4 different sprites here. You got a bowl, apple, bananas, and line. Make sure that you are pressing line because that's what we're programming. There's nothing there because we haven't done it yet, but we're about to do it right now. Everything starts with that green flag. That's an event. So I'm going to press event. When the green flag is clicked, how long do I want this to go on for? For the entire game. Forever. We want to control how long this is going to be. So forever is a control thing. Let's go to our control. There's our forever. Just drag it right in there. Forever. If the apples touch the red line, game over. If the bananas touch the red line, game over. Remember, I'm saying if then again, if then, you're controlling. There's our if then statement right here. If then. If it's touching the apple, it's sensing it. So let's go to our sensing category. And there you see touching mouse pointer, but we don't want that. I'll still drag it out here. If the red line is touching, ooh, hold on. So Apple, that's what I want. I was looking for, it's funny, I was looking for a red line, but the red line doesn't have to sense the red line. The red line has to touch the apple. So, yeah, so if the red line is touching the apple, something has to happen. And we just want everything to stop. And if we want everything to stop, you're controlling it. All right, so that's a control thing. And let's look for something that says stop or finished, or there it is, stop all. Stop all. And we need to do the same thing for the banana. If the red line is touching the banana, so that's an if then. If then is controlling. Where is it? If then, there it is. If it's touching the bananas is the next one we want. You're touching, that's a sensing thing. So sensing. Bananas. If it's touching the bananas, stop. Stop is a control. Back to the control. There we go. Okay. I wonder if this worked. Oh, this is suspenseful. Let's see if it worked. So I'm going to press the green flag. Now, let's just see. See, I let the fruit hit the bottom and the game is over. I'm almost out of time here, but you can make it so that when the game is over, you see a different background saying game over. Unfortunately, I ran out of time to do that. But it looks like it's working. And what I'm going to do, if you want it to go a little slower, if you want these to go a little slower, for instance, if you wanted the apple, I click the apple. If you want the apple to go a bit slower, this is what you would change, the Y as it's going down. Right now it's -5. I'm going to change that to -2. Yes, John.
Can you show me the code for the line again?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Here's the line code right there. If it's touching the apple, stop all. If it's touching the bananas, if the red line is touching the bananas, stop all.
Okay.
Now, I made the apple slower. Did you see that? I changed Y. It used to be 5, and I changed it to, let's see what happens now. I'm going to press the green flag. You notice how the apple is falling slower than the banana? Whoa! So you can change the speed. Oh. And you can make it as easy or as tough, and you can add as much fruit as you want. Okay. So that is the activity for today. For those who want me to send them a handout of what I did and how I did it, I'm going to give you my email address. Just send me an email saying you'd like a handout from the virtual coding club, and I would be happy to send it to you. My name is Larry, and my email address is ajaxlibrary.ca. Just send me an email asking for the coding club handout. And I would be happy to do that. I hope that everyone had a good time. And oh, you have a Colin. Yes, you have your
Can
hand
I
up.
share mine?
Please do. Yes, here we go. Let me just give you permission to share. Give me one sec. And anyone else also who wants to share, if they did it with me, go ahead.
So I have this. Okay. So
Okay, let's see. Okay, you've got, whoa, that's fast. Oh, and you're making it so when you turn it, it looks like the bowl is tilting while it's moving. Wow, very good. See, these are little,
and if you lose,
exactly, yes. There are lots of things you can do, and that's the beauty.
so it starts like I changed the ghost effect by 0.5 and repeat 20, so it's here.
Ah, so what does that do when you receive?
So here, if it touches the color brown, then it will start sound lose, hide the variable points, and then broadcast the message. And then we'll also delete this clone, of course.
Okay, that's some really interesting stuff. Very nice. Wow.
And one backdrop.
Excellent. Very impressed. Yeah, was it difficult? Did you find it?
Not much.
How long did it take you to do that?
Like a couple minutes.
Whoa, you are a pro. Does anyone else want to share? Did anyone else do it while I was doing it? It looks like you did a lot of things that are with Scratch. Just because I did it a certain way, there's
Oh
lots
yeah,
of
I forgot a block because I just added a new hide and like I need to show or else the bull's invisible, so I just added that.
Okay.
So I actually forgot to add that in show.
Okay, and when you made the bowl tilt, you used a different costume.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah, because all sprites have many different costumes. So if you have a sprite that's walking, one of the costume might be this, second costume might be this, third costume might be this, so that It looks like they're
Sometimes I search
walking.
it like animations on
Kinda.
the internet. So
Yeah.
like I find like a lot of costumes for the animation.
Yes, absolutely. And you can use your own animation. You can use your own sounds. You can record your own sounds too. You don't have to use what's there. It's really good. Anyway, that is the activity for today. I want to thank everyone for joining me. I hope you had a good time, learned something. I would be happy to send you the handout of what I did. And I hope to be able to do it again soon. Okay. So thank you. So, oh, I got to give you the code for the summer reading club for those who are following that. It is,
You could write it in the chat.
that's the word right there. And that's where you go. For those who might not know, for the summer reading club, that's the website. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the weekend. And
Can you like leave the screen on because I'll copy the words there.
absolutely, you can do a screenshot if you like. Here we go. Did you want which Sprite code do you need? Which, the bowl or the Apple?
No, the website thing.
This one is the Apple, and the Apple and the
No,
banana.
on the slides. On the slides.
Oh, on the slide. Sorry. Yeah. You're talking about, what did you want me to leave up? This?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, good.
All right. So thank you again. If you have any, if anyone has any other questions, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. But that's the activity for today. Thank you again for joining me. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.